What's making you want to quit? What's got you weak as hell? That's the thing that had me starting over. Stuck in the same cycle, not knowing how to push through when life got tough. I was always telling people I'm not some soft ass theorist. I didn't sit around studying books, man. I threw myself into the damn fire over and over again like a sword. You shove a sword in the fire long enough, it gets strong as hell. And then you beat it. You keep beating it. That's how you forge something unbreakable. And that's what I became. We can't fucking quit. You got to figure out what's holding you back, what's making you weak. So I kept throwing my ass back into the fire, and every time I hit harder. I hit harder. And I hit harder. Then something clicked. I started realizing, damn, my mind's getting tough. My brain's hardening up. I'm not just talking anymore. I'm doing it. I threw my ass into hell and tore it apart while I was there, because you can't tear shit apart in comfort. You can't dissect shit when life is 72 degrees and cozy. You break shit down when it's fucking miserable. You tear into your brain when it's screaming, let me out. I can't take this anymore. And you tell it, fuck that. 5 more seconds in the pain, motherfucker. And in those moments, you start breaking your mind wide open. That's what this journey did to me. I kept throwing myself back into the fire, back into the cold, beating the weakness out of myself mentally and physically. And guess what? Eventually, shit started to change. You might get a little result here and there, but it's not permanent. The real lasting change only happens through suffering. You got to engrave that shit on your soul. So when hard times come again, you don't forget what it took to get through it. As you're trying to claw your way out of that pit that whole life threw you into, and don't forget, you help dig at the people down there with you, the ones you call friends. They become part of that misery. They get comfortable in that shit. And the second you try to rise above, those same people start pulling at your heels, dragging you back into the mud. They're like, oh no, man, you ain't leaving us. Get the fuck back here. I still deal with that shit. People love reminding me of who I used to be. All the times I fucked up, all the mistakes. And I realized the worst thing I ever did was losing myself. Hell, I never even had myself. I never knew who I was, no self-esteem. But through grinding, through learning, through suffering, I started to build that self-worth. Once I found that, the doors didn't just open, they fucking exploded. I stopped giving a fuck about what people thought about being judged. Oh, if I say this or do that, are they going to make fun of me? Fuck all that. The second I stopped caring about that shit, that's when my life started to change. Slowly, but it fucking changed. When that alarm goes off at 4 a.m, your mind's screaming, no, hell no. But you tell yourself, this is what we do now, motherfucker. Because the road to where you want to go is full of pain. And I'm not talking about some weak ass physical pain. It's mental. It's the constant grind of doing shit you don't want to do, day after day, to get where you need to be. There'll be more days where you're doing shit you hate than doing shit you love. That becomes your new reality. And when you embrace that, it's like breathing. It's second nature. You don't want to live this way, but if you want to get to the other side, you have to. So if you want to learn from me, if you want to level the fuck up, then let me drag your ass into this hell with me. That's where you're going to grow. That's the truth of it, man. We're fucking terrified to dive into who we are, to face the shit that made us the way we are. But that's where the beauty is. We're all fucked up in our own ways, but that's what makes us who we are. That's what makes me me. I'm jacked up, but I figured out how to unjack myself. You'll get there too, but it's your own path. I don't want too much attention, man. I don't need a bunch of people watching my every move. That's not where my strength comes from. I get stronger when I'm alone, when it's quiet. But the more my story got out there, the more I started realizing I'm not that quiet David Goggins anymore. And look, man, when someone reaches out to me, I don't just ignore them. I hit them back. But it takes something out of me. It drains me because I need that time to regroup, to gain my strength back. Then I realized, man, God put me in a special kind of hell. And that hell became my fucking teacher. Most people don't get that. I'm trying to flip the script on how people look at life. You get these moments, these few moments where you can learn something real. I believe we're all teachers. And if you're not learning from your struggle and passing that shit on, then what the hell are you even doing? You're wasting your life. You've got all this knowledge, all this experience, and some people might call you crazy for sharing it. They might slap a label on you. But then there's that one person who hears you and says, fuck, I needed that. That's who you do it for. So you have to put yourself out there. What separates me from most motherfuckers is this. They take on a big ass challenge and it scares the shit out of them. They see the size of the task and fold. When I heard the pull-up record was 4,020 pull-ups, people were like, oh my God, that's insane. You know what I did? I grabbed a pen and paper. They asked, what the hell are you doing? I said, I'm doing the fucking math, man. What are you talking about? I'm figuring it out. That's what. If I do 5 pull-ups every minute for X number of hours, how many can I get done? How much time can I rest between sets? I was breaking that shit down right there. Here's the thing, you got to be open-minded to the possibility that you can fucking do it. The second you shut your mind off to the possibility that something's achievable, it's over. There's no way in hell you'll ever do it if you've already decided it's impossible. Look, man, I got all these hard-ass lessons because, let's face it, the world ain't a nice place right now. It's brutal. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready for every failure that's coming my way. You know why? Because I never tell myself it's going to be okay. That's bullshit. Life is hard as fuck, but I chose the hard road. While everyone else is looking for the easy way out, I'm walking straight into the pain, into the fire, because I'm preparing for the shitstorm that's coming my way. I don't avoid the hard shit, I lean into it. With success, you get more haters. And here's the thing, don't let that shit get under your skin. Use it. Use their hate as fuel. That person who said you weren't fast enough, smart enough, strong enough, fuck them. Don't kill them with kindness, torture them with your success. Grind so hard they choke on your results. Life's all about pushing through the odds. You got to use every bit of bullshit this world throws at you as fuel. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the damn truth. If someone calls you fat, yeah, they might be an asshole, but maybe you are fat. Someone calls you dumb, it might sting, but maybe you are dumb. That's life. Face it, accept it, and then change it. There's this quote, I don't know who said it, but it hits hard. It says, when 100 men go to war, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 of them are just fucking targets. 9 of them do most of the fighting, and 1 is a warrior. That shit is real, man. I saw it in training. I see it in life. Most people, they just show up to life, taking up space, not doing a damn thing. But there are a few out there putting in all the work. I want to be in that 9, grinding my ass off. And I'm pushing every day to become that one warrior. That's the mindset. Man, I damn near crawled off my couch and cried like a little kid. I went over to my mom's house 20 minutes down the road and bawled my eyes out on her couch, telling her I can't do this. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. We all have those voices in our heads. We like to ignore them, especially the ones that tell us to be real with ourselves. Instead, we listen to the bullshit voice, the one that keeps you cozy, feeds you cookies and milk, makes you want to stay in that comfy ass restaurant. Yeah, we love that voice. But that voice, it keeps you weak. It keeps you fucking soft. People don't want to listen to me because I don't sugarcoat shit. The only thing that's going to change you is the truth, the raw truth. I didn't have the balls to go back and face it for a long time because I kept running to that soft, cuddly voice saying, you don't need to do this. For 26 years, that voice ran my life and I made every damn excuse there was. That's too much work, man. You deserve to take it easy. That kind of bullshit thinking got me to 297 pounds, fat, out of shape, a loser, making $1,000 a month and drowning in my own mistakes. Why? Because when you take the easy road, mistakes are waiting for you everywhere. You take the soft route, and guess what? You keep screwing up. But when you choose the hard path, the one that makes you want to quit, there ain't many mistakes over there because it's too damn hard. You don't want to repeat that pain. Once you take control of your mind, shit changes. You stop letting your mind run your life. You make the decisions, not your lazy ass brain. We've all got these two voices in our heads. For me, my routine is simple. Every night I stretch for 2 or 3 hours. Why? Because I'm thinking, planning for tomorrow, showing my mind who's boss. I'm telling my brain I'm in charge here, not you. You struggling to get up? Can't get your ass to the gym early in the morning? That means you're weak. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. Get the fuck up, lace those shoes, and start grinding. And here's the real deal, you gotta own your weaknesses. Most people run from them. They hide from the shit they're not good at. But if you want to become a full human being, you gotta face that shit head on. For years, I ran from my weaknesses, didn't want to touch them. But the second I started diving into them, everything changed. I threw myself into the fire over and over, just like a damn sword. You put a sword in the fire long enough and it becomes sharp as hell. That's what I did. I was 290 pounds twice in my life. You think I like doing the shit I had to do? Hell no. But the satisfaction of lacing up those shoes, not wanting to run, but running anyway, that's everything. That's where the growth is. Look, man, the brain's getting hard. The mind's getting tough. I procrastinate like anyone else. I don't want to do shit most days. People look at me like I'm some kind of superhero, but that's a load of crap. I don't want to do it, but guess what? I'm still going to do it. That's the difference. Man, this morning I dragged my ass out of bed early, went for a mile run, came back, and then straight to the gym. On my way there, my neighbor spots me and asks, yo, aren't you afraid of overtraining? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That shit never even crossed my mind. While everyone else was worrying about how much work they shouldn't do, I was too busy working my ass off. I saw the competition out there, they had talent. I didn't. And you know what? I had to grind harder to make up for that. I get it. Science says take it easy, rest days and all that. But let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to shove science out of the way and see what the fuck you're really made of. Those days off people talk about, they think I'm just sitting around watering myself down, taking it easy. Nah, man, that's not how it works. Thousands of miles, day after day, I'm not letting up. There's something inside of you, man, inside all of us. The brain, it's the most powerful weapon we have. It ain't your phone, your computer, or some magic formula. It's your fucking mind. And when you learn how to tap into that, man, you can drag yourself out of the pits of hell and grow into something unstoppable. But people don't get it. It's all up here in your head. When you're in a fight, what do? You attack, you keep attacking. You can't let the enemy think for 1 second you're going to back down. You got to break their soul. That's what I figured out. I wasn't breaking the soul of anything in front of me before. So I came up with the concept of taking souls. It's in my book. I started figuring out how to break the soul of anyone or anything that stood in my way. You keep attacking relentlessly, and nothing wants to stand in front of that kind of fire. You got to go after shit like it's a life or death battle. And trust me, they're going to remember the one who didn't stop attacking. You can hate me all you want, but you can't say I didn't go all out. Getting mentally tough, it's a damn lifestyle. You don't make your bed? Make it. You don't want to go for that run? Go run anyway. Feel like hitting the snooze button? Fuck that, get up. Don't want to clean your house? Get that shit done. It's about callousing your mind every single day, doing the shit that sucks. And guess what? It's not going to be fun. But that's how you grow. You got to push yourself into uncomfortable situations until they don't feel uncomfortable anymore. Look, man, if you want to be great, if you want to be the best at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood. People are going to question your obsession. You're going to be so driven that others won't get it. But that's what it takes. Every second of your life has to be dedicated to it. People love to talk about balance, right? Sure, balance works for most people. But if you want to hit that edge, that place where nobody understands you, where they don't like you because they're threatened by your focus, that's where you're going to lose 100 pounds. That's where you're going to push past your limits. The answer? Stop procrastinating. Stop wishing for things to get easier and just fucking outwork your calories. Get after it. And I used to be that weak ass version of myself who just wanted everyone to like me. I'd bend, I'd change, I'd become whatever the fuck they wanted me to be. If someone liked something and I didn't, guess what? I pretend to like it too, just to fit in. Man, and that's some weak ass shit. If you want to be more than what you are right now, you got to stop giving a damn about people liking you. Fuck their opinions. You need to be unapologetic. You need to own your weirdness, your intensity. Let them think you're off. Let them think you've got issues. That's how you become who the fuck you're meant to be. Stay unapologetic, get after it. The realest conversation you'll ever have in your life is the one in your own head. That's the voice you wake up with. That's the voice you drag around all day. And it's the last thing in your ear when you crash at night. And sooner or later, you're going to act on it, good or bad. People are always going to try to get in your head. The haters, the doubters, the ones who are too weak to go after their own dreams, they're going to try to fuck with yours. They'll try to mess with your mind. But here's the truth, they can't touch shit unless you let them. You got to learn how to live in a world full of distractions and stay undistracted. Keep your head sharp and don't let anyone else own your mind. That's your territory. I get asked all the time, Goggins, how the fuck do you stay in shape with all the travel you do? Here's a secret, man, no fucking excuses. I've got 10 minutes between sessions. I'm busting out core exercises in my hotel room. People love to say, oh, I don't have time, bullshit. You got time, you're just soft. The body can handle anything you throw at it. It's the mind that's always looking for the easy way out, always trying to punk out. So when that voice creeps in saying, you don't have time, shut it the fuck up and get to work. We're all underdogs, man. Doesn't matter if you're the CEO of some big ass company or scraping by, we all have that doubt. We're all fighting something. But here's the thing, everyone's got their own equation. It's like math, all these formulas to solve different problems. We, as humans, we're like that too. There's no one size fits all book for how to be a beast. I can't hand you a 5-step manual and say, do this and you're good. No, man, you got to figure out your equation. What makes you tick? What's going to push you to that place where everyone else quits? But you dig in and say, fuck it, I'm staying here. For me, I had to reinvent myself from the ground up. I was broken. Not just physically, mentally, and spiritually too. I sat at home for years, miserable, fat, out of shape, feeling sorry for myself. Then one day I said, enough. I visualized the person I wanted to be, the person I didn't even believe was possible. But I created him. I saw that motherfucker in my head and decided that's who I was going to become. And guess what? I fucking did it. That's the secret, man. You got to build that version of yourself you're too afraid to be. The one that doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks, that doesn't back down, that keeps pushing when everyone else folds. Figure out your equation and you'll be unstoppable. Listen, man, you weren't born that hard motherfucker, that mentally tough beast. But let me tell you something, that guy can be made. Yeah, he can be fucking built from the ground up, brick by brutal brick. But you got to be willing to say no to all the bullshit along the way, turn down the book deal, shut out the noise, and be who the F you are every single day. And I mean, every damn day. You can't give a single F about anyone who says you're not doing things their way or the so-called right way. I used to be scared of everybody. When you get your ass beat as much as I did, you start living a fucking lie. I spent my life creating fake versions of myself minus 50 fucking people, man. I'd be whoever you wanted me to be just to get you to like me, just to have a friend. And that's where most people F up, trying to fit in, trying to be liked. All that S you've heard about me, it's real, but it's only the surface. The journey to becoming who I am today, that shit was hell, man. But in the middle of all that pain and all those dark days, I figured out who the fuck I really was. The greatest trophy I ever earned wasn't a medal, wasn't a title, wasn't a fucking paycheck, it was me. Standing on that stage, I realized it wasn't about the fame, the money, or being accepted. It was about looking in the mirror and being okay with who I am. And you know what? If people judge me, fuck him. I put up my middle fucking finger and say, this is David Goggins. That's what it's all about, going through your own journey, taking your lumps and figuring out who the hell you are. And once you do that, help the next guy do the same. But you got to be honest with yourself. And I'm not talking about the fake ass honesty most people sell. I was the world's best liar, but the truth will set you free, man. You got to dig into that nasty, fed up path you've been running from and own every single part of it. Whatever your past looks like, abuse, addiction, bullying, that shit might not have been your fault, but it's in your hand now. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to do this for you. You got to own it, face it, and find the courage to rise up and take back your life. This is your fight. And it's time to get in the fucking ring. Let me tell you why I keep dragging that old shit back up, why I'm always talking about the past. Because too many of you are scared of what people are going to think. Scared of being judged, scared of letting the world see the real you. You got to stop that shit, man. You can't live your life hiding from your own shadow, afraid of who you are, where you came from, or the demons you fought. Because here's the truth, every single one of those people judging you has their own fucking skeletons. They just bury the S deeper and don't want to talk about it. So don't buy into their fucking facade. Nobody's perfect. And everyone's hiding behind some kind of lie. Once you finally stop hiding, that's when the real work begins. I used to be lost as fuck, walking through the same muck day after day. When you're in that shit knee deep, all you see is the mess. But here's the thing, you're so busy looking down, you don't even see the fucking sidewalk just off to the side. Get your head up and get the hell off that muck. Once I saw that sidewalk, I stepped up on it. I got a little breather, a different view of my life, but I didn't stop there. I climbed. I found a cliff, then a mountain, and got high enough to look back down on my life and see the whole damn mess I was dragging myself through. And when I was up there, I finally admitted to myself, I'm lying. I'm fucking lying to everyone, trying to fit in, trying to be liked. My whole foundation was broken. I was full of shit. I'd messed up all over the place, lying about who I was just to be accepted. But the worst part, I'd lost myself. Hell, I never even knew who I was to begin with. My self-esteem was buried 6 feet deep, and I had no fucking clue how to dig it back up. It wasn't until I started grinding, working out, learning, putting myself through the fire that I started to find my real self. And that's when doors started opening because I stopped giving a fuck about what anyone thought of me. I stopped caring if people were going to judge me, laugh at me, or call me out. That's when my whole damn life started to change little by little. Being accepted used to kill me, but once I let that S go, everything flipped. You got to figure out what the hell you want for your life. There's so much noise coming at you from every direction, social media, friends, family, you're lost because you're never spending time with yourself. Learn to shut that shit down, turn off the phone, shut the laptop, kill the TV. It's okay to sit alone in silence and face your own thoughts. Ask yourself, where the fuck do I want to be? What do I want a year from now, 5 years from now? It takes some serious discipline to do that shit because we're all addicted to being plugged into the world. But until you face yourself, you're never going to find your way out of the muck. The world's moving 100 miles an hour, man. And you're out here trying to keep pace, trying to fit in, trying to live up to some bullshit standard that ain't even yours. You end up losing yourself in the chaos, chasing after other people's dreams and wondering why you feel empty as fuck. You got to stop that shit. You got to hit the brakes and go into that dark, nasty place in your mind. Figure out who the hell you really are. Most of why y'all are so busy trying to be like everybody else, you don't even know what your own dreams look like. You're living someone else's life, walking around powerless, and you don't even realize it. The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with your own fucked up self. That voice in your head, you wake up with it, you go to bed with it, and eventually you act on it, whether that shit is good or bad. The world is full of haters, people trying to get in your head, trying to knock you off your game. But here's the truth, man. They only win if you let them into your mind. You got to be like those boxers who go off into isolation before a big fight. But here's the thing. Most of us don't get to escape. You got to learn to fight your battles right in the middle of the noise. Stay locked into your own mind and don't let anyone own that shit. I'm out here grinding alone, fighting this war by myself, and I love it that way. Nobody knows how deep this goes for me, and I don't need them to. I don't want them to. I'm an introvert. I thrive in that solitude. That's my fucking fuel. I know there's nobody out here going as hard as me. And if someone's out there grinding, good. That just makes me push even harder. That's what my mentality is about. This whole game is mental. It's a fucking head game. You got to shut down the noise, shut down the distractions, shut down technology. You got to go dark. It's about getting quiet in your mind. Finding that peace in the middle of your storm. We all love the social shit, the parties, the small talk, the comfort of other people, but it's okay to be alone. It's okay to feel unhappy. It's okay to sit with your shit and face it head on. You got to confront the truth about yourself. Who are you really? You got to get brutally honest, man. Ask yourself, what's the real story here? What am I hiding from? Go to that dark place, no matter how long it takes, months, years, whatever. Figure out your purpose, not what society says you should be, but what you want to be. Most people can't find that purpose because their lives are just too damn loud. Once you know your purpose, it's time to get to work. People love to plan because it's comfortable. It's easy to map shit out on paper, but the real shit begins in execution. That's where the pain starts, where the failures stack up. And that's what most people are afraid of. But you got to eat those failures one after another because that's how you build something real. I didn't have a roadmap or anyone to guide me. I was on my own, staring into that mirror, and I had to ask myself, what the fuck are you going to do about it? That's when I started to change. But it wasn't some overnight transformation. It was slow, man. I was 17, walking into that recruiter's office thinking I had it all figured out. Failed the ASVAB a couple of times, got knocked down, and had one last shot. That's when I developed my work ethic, grinding like my life depended on it, because it did. No shortcuts, no easy outs. It's you against you every single day. So ask yourself, are you ready to get in the fight? The most important step you'll ever fucking take in life is the next one. But most of you are stuck, cemented in place like your feet are buried in concrete. You know why? You're scared less of making enemies. Scared of speaking your mind. Scared of what people are going to whisper about you when you walk away. That fear has you locked up, drowning your thoughts and fucking up your decisions. Here's the truth, man. You're always going to have haters, and you better learn to embrace that shit. You could walk on water, and some asshole would still say you're only walking on water because you can't swim. Fuck what they think. Shut out the noise, cut out the dead weight, and understand this: if people don't like you, it means you're doing something right. You're shaking things up. So stay fucking hard, stay in the fight. This mentality isn't just about one thing, it's about everything in life. Anytime you make the leap from average to exceptional, people are going to come at you. They don't like it when you break out of the box they put you in. It's easier than ever to be a coward these days. Just look at social media. Everyone's got something to say behind the screen. They ain't got the balls to say it to your face. So don't let those fake cameras and likes get in your head. And the worst part, you start molding yourself into a bunch of people that aren't even you, just to be liked. If you can't get over that S, you're screwed. You'll never figure out who the fuck you really are. You'll never chase down your dreams because you're too busy living someone else's. You're trying so damn hard to fit in, to be accepted, that you're living someone else's version of life, not your own. That's how you lose your power. That's what almost fucking killed me. You got to ask yourself, what do you really want? With all this noise coming at you, it's so damn easy to get lost in the madness. You're glued to your phone, sucked into the TV, locked into everyone else's business but your own. You don't even spend enough time alone to figure out what the hell you want. Turn that shit off. It's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to sit in silence and just think about you. Where the fuck do I want to be tomorrow? Next year? 5 years from now? It takes some serious self-discipline to break free from all this bullshit because we're all addicted to being connected, addicted to the chaos. The world's moving fast as fuck and you're out here sprinting to keep up, losing yourself in the process. But you got to take that time. You got to go into that dark, quiet place in your mind where there's no noise, no distractions, just you facing yourself. That's where you find out who the F you really are. Life didn't just hand me this version of myself. I got fucking forged in the fire of everything I went through. I became that weak, broken down person because that's what life turned me into back then. And you know what? That's all right. It wasn't all my fault. But here's the cold truth, man. No one's coming to save your ass. You got to go back, face those dark places where it all went sideways and start fixing that shit. Doesn't matter if it's trauma, abuse, failure, whatever it is, you've got to confront it. It's a nasty, ugly process. And let me tell you something, when you're down in that pit, surrounded by people who are just as fucked up as you, those folks become your friends. You bond over that shared misery. But the second you start trying to claw your way out of that hellhole to rise above, those same people start grabbing at your heels, pulling you back in. They don't want to see you succeed because your success shines a spotlight on their failures. I get it all the time, man. People always want to remind me of who I used to be, dragging my past out of the shadows like they're scared of who I've become. They can't stand it because it means they've been left behind. That's why I'm fascinated by people like the dude who free soloed that rock. He's like me in a way. He's all in. Not because he's fearless, but because he's willing to go all the fucking way. It ain't the climb that impresses me. It's the mental focus, the ability to shut out the whole damn world and chase what's in your soul. When he's on that rock, nothing else exists. Not his family, not his friends, nothing but that climb. You don't do that unless you're willing to die for it. And most people can't wrap their heads around that level of commitment. They're too scared, too fucking comfortable on solid ground, clinging to what's safe. They don't get what it means to put it all on the line for something bigger than yourself. I don't think that guy believed he was going to die. I think he accepted it might happen, but he was willing to sacrifice everything for that moment. That's what sets him apart. There's a few of us out there who have that mindset, who are ready to say, you don't fucking get me because you're too damn comfortable with your feet planted on safe ground. I've got my eyes on something higher. That climb, that fight is temporary. It took him years of work for just a few hours on that rock. But those hours, they were everything. Most people don't understand that kind of hunger, that kind of sacrifice, because they're too busy living life on autopilot. They don't get that sometimes you've got to be willing to risk it all just to feel alive. That guy went up on that rock for a few hours, put his whole fucking life on the line, and found something that most people will never get. I've done the same thing in my own way, risked it all, pushed myself to places most people can't even imagine. But those few hours, those moments when you're all in, that's when you find out who the F you are. Most people will never know that feeling because they've never put themselves in the fire like that. They've never been on that rock. They've never been willing to risk it all for a few hours of something real. People look at him and think he's crazy. And those are the people I can't even talk to, because it's not about being crazy. It's about finding something deep inside yourself. He found it on that rock, and I found it in my own battles. It's about exploring that dark, raw part of you that most people are too scared to face. That's what makes someone incredible, the willingness to say, I love you, but I have to do this shit. I need to go away for a while. I need total focus, total dedication. Because this thing, this climb, this battle is going to take everything I've got. That's the kind of dedication that's dying out. People just don't get it. Every single morning, I'm at war with myself. And it starts with the little things. People ask, why do you focus on making your bed? On doing the small S. Because it's a battle against yourself every damn day. Don't hit the snooze button. Don't start your day off as a fucking loser. When you hit that snooze button, you've already failed before you've even stood up. Then you start skipping the little things. Don't make your bed. Don't take care of your space. And before you know it, you're slipping everywhere. Winning that morning battle is the key, man. You wake up and you own your shit, because the second you step outside your door, the world is coming at you hard. That's why I don't wake up and grab my damn phone. That's the first trap everyone falls into, rolling over, checking their phone and getting smacked with bad news or some bullshit email. Now, your whole day is off. You don't make your bed. You skip the gym. You're already in the shithole before you even start. You lose control right out of the gate. And that's how your whole day spirals. But when you win that morning, when you get your ass up and take charge, you go out into the world with something already under your belt. So even if you lose your job, get hit with some bad shit, guess what? You've already got a win in your pocket. You've already battled and you came out on top. But if you hit that snooze button, man, you've lost before you even got started. You're dragging ass all day. And every little hit feels like a knockout punch. But when you start off winning, you're a step ahead. You're armed and ready to take on whatever comes at you. That's the mindset you've got to carry every damn day. Most people out there don't think like warriors, and that's a privilege. I chose this warrior life and I do it all over again. No one gives a damn about what you did yesterday. Change the fucking dialogue. What are you doing today? Then I used to be mentality is trash. I don't care what you used to do, man. Show me what you've got right now. I don't see failure. I see grit, heart, determination, and fucking drive. Failure means you're putting in work. Too many people out there never fail because they're too scared to even try. People ask me, Goggins, how do you handle failure? I say, I don't look at it like that. It's just another damn attempt. One thing is for sure, the valiant motherfucker always wins. I had two choices, man. Stay that 300-pound guy spraying for roaches and barely making ends meet, or fail my ass off until I found success. You got to remind yourself every damn day how badass you really are. When your mind and body are screaming, we're done, you've got to look back and say, hold the fuck up. I've been through hell and back and I've got more fight in me. I learned this growth doesn't come from the shit you enjoy. Growth lies in that dark, uncomfortable place. So I visit that place every single day. You're going to fail. You're going to be in your head. You're going to doubt yourself. But that's the battleground where you get stronger. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and get after it. That's where the real work begins. When you're so fucking misunderstood that people start calling you crazy, psycho, nuts, they just don't get it, man. Why the hell are you in the gym at 1 a.m.? What's wrong with you? When people can't wrap their heads around your grind, that's when you know you've hit that next level of obsession and drive. You're in a league of your own. I do this shit alone, man. I pick the hardest, nastiest challenges that most people wouldn't even think of touching. I go out there, grind it out, and get deep in my own head because that's where the work gets done. I thrive on that solitude. I had to break myself down, destroy that weak-ass version of me, and show the world that anyone can become whoever the hell they want to be. But it's not about yesterday, it's about today, tomorrow, and the day after that. I don't listen to theorists. I listen to the ones who are in the trenches, who are bleeding for this shit. People ask me, what's wrong, man? I'm fucking tired. You know why? Because tomorrow, I'm going to wake up and do it all over again. That's the person you listen to, the one who's been through hell and keeps showing up. You don't gain knowledge from comfort, you gain it through suffering. On the other side of that suffering is a world almost no one gets to see. That's where you find yourself. Not on this side of easy street, but on the other end where it's raw and real. Like that 100-mile race I ran, man, 24 hours on my feet, pushing through pain. I found myself out there. And that's why every night I'm stretching for 2 or 3 hours. No excuses. While I'm stretching, I'm planning my next day. I'm thinking about every obstacle that could fuck me up. That's the difference, man. Most people wake up unprepared, hoping life's just going to play nice. Well, guess what? Life's coming, whether you're ready or not. And most people step into that ring with an unprepared mind, hoping for the best. I plan for everything what could happen, what might happen, what will probably happen, and the shit that's just going to blindside me. I know damn well I'm not going to want to work out tomorrow, but I'm ready for that. I'm ready for the excuses, the doubts, and whatever the hell else comes at me. I prepare my mind for the pain, the hard choices, and the unexpected gut punches life's going to throw. Not in some doom and gloom way, but in a bring it on kind of way. Build that mental armor. So when life tries to F you up, you're standing there like, is that all you got? It's about being ready mentally and physically. Before my second heart surgery, you know what I did? I went out for a 10-mile recovery run. That's right, minus 50 pounds on my back, day of my fucking surgery. People saw me out there like, what the hell are you doing? You got heart surgery today. Yeah, I do. And I'm still getting after it because I'm not leaving a damn thing on the table. Once I figured out what the human body and mind are capable of, I couldn't go back. I couldn't half-ass anything. This is it, man. This is life. You either attack it with everything you've got or you sit back and let it run you over. Stay hard. Man, life's a quiet, brutal motherfucker sometimes. And when that silence hits, that's when you feel like running and hiding. But you can't. You've got to find energy where there is none. You've got to make up games, create tricks, and do whatever the hell it takes to drag your ass to the next level. That's what Taking Souls is about. It's not about tearing the other guy down. It's about finding every tactical advantage in every situation, no matter what. You turn that S into fuel. You become a predator in your own mind, hunting for any edge you can get. You got to live in your own world, man. You can't be judging yourself off this fake-ass competition social media throws at you. Screw what everyone else is doing, the looks, the smarts, the so-called success. All that is bullshit. This is your race, your battle, and you're fighting it alone. I used to have sticky notes all over my mirror not saying, be better than John or be as fast as that guy. No, man, it was just me against me. Yesterday, you did this. Today, we're going to do better. I had year goals, weekly goals, daily goals, and even hourly goals. I grew up lying my ass off just to fit in. One of my goals was simple, go one damn day without lying. Couldn't do it at first, but I kept grinding. And yeah, there are days I wake up with a fucked up attitude, like, why am I doing this? I don't even have a race lined up. Why am I living so structured? Some days I'm like, I'm done. Fuck this, I quit. But then I sit there and think, you want to be normal, huh? Just like everybody else? You want to be mediocre? Go back to that weak-ass version of yourself. So I dig deep and ask, who am I really? What's the truth about me? You got to get to that dark place. You might not like what you find, and it could take months or even years, but you got to figure out your purpose. Most people don't know theirs because their world is too damn loud. Turn that noise off and find your purpose. Once you find it, start planning. But don't get too cozy. Planning is easy. It's comfortable. Execution, that's where it gets ugly. That's where the real work starts, where failure after failure tries to break you. But that's the fucking game, and you've got to play it. For me, training was never just about getting bigger or stronger. It was mental warfare. I'd see people getting up early, grinding when everyone else was still in bed. And I think that's what I need. Not to look good, but because that S is what builds you. I made a long ass list of things I didn't want to do, and I attacked it. Getting up early, didn't want to do it. Training until I puked, didn't want to do it. But that's where the growth is. In that brutal, uncomfortable grind. That's where you find yourself. Don't let your mind play tricks on you. You're stronger than you know, but you got to earn that every damn day. Stay hard, stay fucking relentless. I saw all these people getting up at 5 a.m. running on their cozy little golf courses. And I started seeing myself different than the average human being. I thought, hold up, I got something these motherfuckers don't have. That's when I turned my workouts into a fucking obsession. I went from some average dude to the most obsessed motherfucker on the planet. I had to build a beast inside me, someone who could eat pain, swallow suffering, and take any damn judgment thrown his way. And I built that beast through suffering by facing every fucking thing that scared me. That's when it clicked your mind as your damn creation. I started pushing boundaries, opening doors I never thought were there, and every door led to something bigger. I realized my potential was almost limitless. But it took looking in the mirror and facing who the hell I was, a scared, insecure, lonely dude willing to do anything just to fit in. And I saw that for what it was: pathetic. I had to kill that version of me. Stand up and say, I'm done being average. You see, most people hang with their comfort zone. Let's say there's 10 of us in a room and we're all mediocre. But if I'm the best of the mediocre, I think I'm hot S. We surround ourselves with people who tell us what we want to hear. But the second you put yourself among uncommon people, those killers waking up at 3 a.m., that's when you start feeling uncomfortable and you don't like it. You want to stay with the ones who say, it's okay, man, take it easy today. But that doesn't build a savage. You need someone to call you out, someone who's going to say, get your ass up, stop being a punk. But we don't want that. We want people who coddle us, who let us sit in our comfortable little bubble of mediocrity. That's why most of us never grow. We want to feel secure in our bullshit. Man motivation is bullshit. It's a fair weather friend that's gone the second shit gets hard. No one's coming to save your ass. No one's going to sit you down and say, it's okay, you'll be all right. Nah, man, you won't be okay unless you make yourself okay. You got to control your mind or it will control you. And if that happens, you're fed. You have to take charge and dictate where you're going. I don't care what you believe in, that's on you. For me, I believe in God. And I think one day I'll be sitting across from God and he'll show me a chart of who I was supposed to be: a world changer, record setter, Navy SEAL, doing all these great things. But the man sitting across from God is just a 300-pound dude who sprays for cockroaches. That's the life I was supposed to have lived? Hell no, man. I'm not about to let life happen to me. You've got to attack it. Get uncomfortable. Face your pain. Stay hard and make sure you become that person on your chart, the one who never stops, never settles, and always keeps pushing. That's who you need to be. God's up there like, that's who the fuck you were supposed to be. My biggest fucking fear in life is hitting the end, getting to that final place, and there's a judgment. You're sitting there face to face with something bigger than you. And they look at you and say, yeah, you made it to heaven, but this is what the fuck you should have been down there. Nah, man, I want God up there right now scribbling notes saying, shit, this dude went beyond what I ever thought was possible. That's how I fucking live. Every day, man, there's no cap, no limit to the human mind. We put that cap there ourselves. Your brain is the most powerful weapon on this planet. But if you can't control that motherfucker, it's over. You got to tell your brain where the fuck you're going, how you're going to get there. And you got to own that shit. Otherwise, it'll run you into the fucking ground. A real human being, someone who's fulfilled and strong, doesn't need to tear anyone down. They build people up. So when someone talks shit, bullies you, tries to fuck with your mind, that's them projecting their own fucking issues. They're broken inside. But the second you quit, your mind stops. It's game over. Your brain says, we're done, and it won't grow. But when you push through, when you say, nah, man, this shit sucks, I'm drowning, I'm fucking miserable, but I ain't quitting, what happens? Your mind says, well, shit, he's not leaving. So we got to figure this out. You force your brain to expand, to grow. When you're deep in the suffering and you don't back the fuck down, that's when the magic happens. You unlock parts of your brain that most people never touch. And yeah, it hurts like hell. But guess what? Your brain adapts. It gets used to the suffering. It becomes your new baseline. Nothing gets done without fucking hard work. I couldn't remember shit for a test. Kept reading, still not getting it. What did I do? I fucking read it again. Didn't work. Write that shit down. I wrote it out until it clicked. Same with swimming. I couldn't swim, negative buoyant as fuck. What did I do? Go back again. Go back again. And guess what? I fucking learned to swim. Your brain will say, all right, he's not quitting. We got to figure this shit out. That's how it works. I always tied working out to struggle. And I fucking hated the struggle. I ran from it. But then I realized, fuck that. I got to embrace it. Face the struggle head on. I'm training for life, not just to lift heavy shit. I'm training my mind through discipline, repetition, and doing the shit you don't want to do. Day after day, you build mental armor. You start to fortify that mind. It says, okay, we suffer. We suffer every fucking day. We do hard shit every day. That's how you get strong. That's how you build a mind that can handle anything. When the hard shit comes, and trust me, it will come, you better be ready. I had two choices. I could stay that 300-pound dude spraying for cockroaches, making a measly $1,000 a month, or I could fail, get my ass kicked, and fail again until I succeeded. So I started calling recruiters, telling them I'm going to be a Navy SEAL. But here's the thing. The military has weight and height limits. I'm 6 and I was pushing 297 pounds. Recruiter looks at me, runs the numbers, and hits me with the brutal truth. To get into the SEAL program, I had to drop 106 pounds in less than 3 months. My first reaction? Ain't no fucking way. So I grabbed my chocolate milkshake, went back to spraying bugs, and told myself, this can't be it for me. That moment, that was the last time I accepted being average. I quit my damn job, went home, and I started working out like my life depended on it. I became obsessed like a man possessed. I had to create a version of myself that could endure any pain, face any suffering, and rise above any judgment. I built that version of myself through pure, unfiltered suffering. And as I pushed through it, I started unlocking doors I didn't even know existed. Every door I opened revealed that my potential was way beyond what I ever thought. My mindset shifted forever. Now, I stay obsessed. There's this relentless voice in my head, and we all have it. You know that voice. It's the one telling you to take the easy road, to get comfortable. That voice whispered to me a lot, telling me to chill, to stay soft. But I had another voice, the voice that said, what the fuck are you doing? We got to go grind. Over there in the dark where no one else wants to go, that's where victory is. That's where the real work happens. That voice wasn't just whispering, it was screaming at me, giving me the answers. I wasn't a smart kid, but I knew I had to follow that voice. It led me to pain, to looking in the mirror, to holding myself accountable for everything, even the shit that wasn't my fault. It didn't matter, it was my responsibility now. I didn't want to walk that path alone, but that voice kept pushing me. Call it God, call it whatever you want, but it knew the truth about me. I was fronting. I was living like a clown, trying on different personalities, changing my style, acting like someone I wasn't. Deep down, I knew I was playing myself. A lot of people are stuck like that. Maybe you've been bullied, maybe you're stressed out, maybe you're overweight, and the world has been feeding you a bunch of lies. Yeah, the world plays a part, but so do you. My mission was to build a mindset that couldn't be broken, to armor plate my mind so nothing could penetrate it. It's about what you say to yourself, but it's also about putting in the work. Every time life tried to break me down physically, mentally, spiritually, I'd remind myself, you can't hurt me. That became my mantra, my shield against anything life threw at me. We all have two voices. And nah, you're not crazy for hearing them. There's the easy voice, the one that tells you you're at 90% of your full potential, but you know you're only at 20%. That voice, that's the comfort zone. That's mommy coddling you, telling you everything's going to be all right no matter how much you're screwing up. But fuck that voice. It's lying to you. Comfort is the enemy. That's one voice, that soft voice, the one telling you everything's fine, that you're doing enough. But there's this other voice, the one we run from. It's loud and it's brutal. It's the voice that says, yo, man, you ain't doing shit. We do everything we can to drown that voice out because we're scared of it. We stay over in this comfort zone, hiding from the truth. But you got to crank up the volume on that other voice, the one that calls you out, tells you the harsh, raw truth. And this ain't about beating yourself down. People these days are soft as hell, taking it the wrong way. They think if you face the truth, you're being too hard on yourself. Bullshit. I'm not saying destroy your confidence. I'm saying listen to the truth. And the truth ain't in that 20% you're giving. It's in the other 80% you're not even tapping into. That's where the real growth is. But here's the thing, the rest of that 80% is packed with suffering, pain, failure, doubt, darkness. And after you wade through all that, you find the light. But to get to that light, you got to embrace every bit of the darkness. Most of us know deep down we could be more, but we stay stuck over here comfortable because that journey to 100%, it's not fucking fun. That stretch from 20% to 100%. It's brutal. So we sit our asses down and settle. And people always ask me, how do you do it, Goggins? You know exactly how. There's no magic trick, no shortcut. Everything I talk about, everything in that book is primitive. It's not complex. It comes down to one thing you just got to do. It's as natural as breathing. When that alarm goes off at 4 or 5 a.m. and your mind says, no, you don't negotiate. You just say, this is what we do. It becomes automatic. The road to where you want to go. It's filled with more pain than you can imagine. And I'm not talking about breaking bones or destroying your body. I'm talking about mental pain. The pain of doing shit you don't want to do over and over again. The truth is, you'll be doing things you hate more times than not. That's your new normal. You're going to live in discomfort. And after doing that enough times, it's like breathing. It just is. You don't want to live that way, but you have to, if you want to reach the other side, if you truly want it, you'll realize what effort really means and what it doesn't. I just had a conversation with someone talking about managing expectations, about focusing only on your strengths and ignoring your weaknesses. You know me, if you've heard of David Goggins, you know I call bullshit on that crap. It's weak. That's how people get soft. That's how you cap your potential, by feeding your brain with that garbage. You have to attack what you're not good at. You have to go after the shit that makes you uncomfortable, because that's where growth happens. Anything less, you're just lying to yourself. Managing expectations, fuck that. If I had lived my life with that mindset, I'd still be a 300-pound nobody stuck in a dead-end job, making no money, and completely clueless about what I was truly capable of. I never would have become a Navy SEAL, never would have gone to Ranger School, never would have accomplished a damn thing. You know what I've learned? When there's no crowd, no applause, no finish line, it's a whole different ball game. But that's where the magic happens, in the dark, when no one's watching, when no one's cheering your ass on. Every morning, I wake up and do what I do. Not because anyone tells me to. I don't have some trainer screaming at me saying, Goggins, get up. Hell no, I don't have to do anything anymore. I've already done it all. But that's the beauty of this grind. No one knows what I'm doing every day. And guess what? I don't care. There's no crowd, no spotlight, just me out there grinding alone. People see a 1-minute video of me running and they think that's it. They think that's the whole story. Merry Christmas, motherfucker. That 1-minute clip, that's nothing. I'm out there for hours every single day and no one sees it. But that's the beautiful part. That's what keeps me going. I'm not doing this for validation. I'm doing it because I know what's possible. One day I'll win Badwater. One day I'll conquer every race that ever tried to break me. That's the mindset you need. Every time life knocks you down, you have to make sure whoever knocked you down regrets it. They should be thinking, oh shit, I shouldn't have messed with him. That's how you have to approach life. When you hit the ground, make them afraid that they knocked you down, because they know you're coming back stronger, harder, more relentless than ever before. That's the mentality that keeps you in the fight. And listen, man, I'm not out there partying. I don't hang out with the guys. I don't do the social thing. I'm an introvert, a lone wolf. I show up, do my job, and I get the hell out. I go home, recharge, and come back stronger. I'm different. I think differently. I believe differently. And I'm 100% locked into what I believe. People talk about balance like it's the Holy Grail. Oh, you got to find balance. Bullshit. If you want to be great at anything, whether you're Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Roger Federer, or any of the greatest in their fields, there's no such thing as balance. You scratch the surface. Sure, it looks like they've got it all figured out, but you dig deeper. You'll find they're off balance as hell. That's what it takes to be the best. You've got to be obsessed, unbalanced, and completely locked into your mission. Balance is for people who settle for average. If you want greatness, you got to be ready to give up everything else. You got to be all in every single day. That's the truth. You get on that teeter-totter, and guess what? You're not coming down. There's no balance, and that's exactly how you become great. That's my mindset. You want to achieve something truly badass, you got to be willing to lose a lot of your life. And yeah, I made that choice. I chose to be unbalanced, to go all in on this life of mine. The people who love me, they understand. They know who they're with. They know what the deal is. This is who I am, and I ain't changing for shit. So yeah, you lose a lot, but you gain a whole lot too. It's all about what you want. Some people want to sit back with that poopy pants mentality, waiting for the world to take care of them, wanting things to be easy. That's what I'm talking about. Don't play sick too long. I played sick for way too long growing up, using my fucked up childhood as an excuse. It feels good to play the victim, but that shit will rob you of opportunity. I wasn't some smart kid. Hell, I couldn't even read in junior high. And when you live like that, it's easy to let people give you that get out of jail free card. Oh, poor David, he's just not real smart, had a tough life. It feels good to lean into that, to have people pity you. But that's bullshit. That's weakness. I had this voice in my head, man, and it was loud. It was telling me where the answers were, but they were over there in the pain, in the place I didn't want to go. It was telling me to look in the mirror, be accountable for everything that happened to me, whether it was my fault or not. At the end of the day, it was mine to own. And I didn't want to go over there alone, but I had to. That voice, call it God, call it whatever you want, but it knew who I really was, even when I didn't. I was a clown, man, trying to find myself in characters, hairstyles, sagging my pants like a fool. I was off. And that voice was telling me, this isn't you. This isn't where you're supposed to be. There are people out there getting bullied, feeling insecure, overweight, stressed the fuck out. And the world loves to put that shit in your head. It's not just you. Yeah, you play a part, but the world piles it on too. My whole mission was to armor plate my mind, to build a mindset that was indestructible. It's all about what you're saying to yourself, but that's not enough. It comes with work. Every time I got beat down, whether it was physically, mentally, spiritually, I would just say, you can't hurt me. That became my mantra. Can't hurt me. Over and over again. Until it became my reality. You want to know how to get through the worst shit? It's not about being comfortable. It's about training your mind to be untouchable, no matter what. People always ask me, how the hell do you do that? You know how? We all know how. It's not some magic trick. There's no special secret. It's primal as hell, just do it. It's like breathing. You don't think about breathing, do you? It just happens. That's how you got to live your life. When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind's going to scream no. But you don't negotiate. You just say, this is what we do now. No excuses. No whining. This is just what we do. To get to where you want to be, the mental pain is going to be real. Not physical. It's that shit in your head. You're going to have to do a lot of things you don't want to do. More times than you can count, you'll be doing stuff you hate. But that's the new norm. That's what it takes to get to the other side. After a while, it becomes like breathing. Yeah, I don't want to live this way all the time, but I know if I want to get to the other side, I have to. So if you really want it, you learn what trying really is and what it's not. I just had a conversation about people saying, manage your expectations, triple down on your strengths, forget your weaknesses. Man, let me tell you, that's some straight up bullshit. That's how people get weaker. By capping their minds, by buying into that garbage about not going after what they suck at. If you put a cap on your expectations, you're putting a cap on your potential. You're staying at 20%, thinking you're doing great when you could be so much more. If I had that weak ass mindset of managing expectations, I'd still be some 300-pound loser sitting on my ass at a dead-end job making no money. I'd have never known what I was capable of. I'd never have become a Navy SEAL, never would have pushed through Ranger School. None of it. All that shit I went through, man, none of it would have happened. Here's what I learned when there's no crowds, no one out there cheering you on, no finish line in sight. That's the real test. Every morning, I get my ass up and do what I do. Ain't nobody waking me up. No one's there telling me, David, you got to do this. Hell, I don't have to do anything anymore. I already did it. That's the fucking beauty of this grind, man. No one has a clue what I'm doing every day. They see a 1-minute clip of me running and yeah, maybe it motivates them. Merry fucking Christmas. But what they don't see is I'm out there for hours every single day, grinding when no one's looking. That's my life. It's a beautiful thing knowing I'm doing what others won't. And that's what keeps me going, stretching out, pushing further every damn day. One day we'll win Badwater. That race that broke you, you go back and you crush it. That's the mentality, man, the sewer mentality. When you get knocked down, you got to make them regret knocking you down. They got to be like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. That's how you need to see life. You hit the dirt, but you get up stronger. And now they're scared because they know what's coming. That's the mentality that keeps you in the fight. Always in the fight. You knock me down, you better pray I don't get back up. Because when I do, you'll wish you never took that shot. Stay hard.